you are clear about your policy, which means you believe in energy security and energy affordability, you will buy from wherever you have to.
Talking about the turbulence and also talking about the consumption going higher in the coming days for India. Now, India is in between the OPEC countries, and it's also in between US, because US is also now a supplier, like you said, that the imports are increasing. How is India going to walk this tightrope between the two parties?
It's not a tightrope. I don't look at it. If you are clear about your policy, which means you believe in energy security and energy affordability, you will buy from wherever you have to. Our purchases of energy from sources which were hitherto unheard of, we are in discussions with them. We will also acquire assets outside, wherever. I mean, in recent months, since you're asking me this question, I think we did a $1.6 billion equity infusion, which BPCL has done into an asset in Brazil. I can tell you several others. We are looking at assets in Africa. We're looking at assets. Look, I didn't get a chance to complete this. Sometimes when you're looking at this from a journalistic angle, you would say that, the producers are holding all the cards. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. I think the person or the country which has a large market also has a very large role to play. I mean, I'm just giving you a hypothetical example, but if we decide to limit consumption, no matter what you produce, you'll have to find a place to sell it to. And I can tell you that in the last year or so, I've had my oil companies tell me that, we can raise it from here, but there are traditional suppliers there. This is a discussion which will go on. And much of the trade, incidentally, takes place in a manner which is not properly understood outside. It's not that, you have some fuels which have high density, some are lighter fuels. I don't want to get into that discussion. It may originate somewhere. We own assets outside. That the product of those assets doesn't come to India. It goes in, it's sold on the swap market, etc. And oil and energy have been traded for years, etc. So I think governments in particular situations will react to geopolitical events, will make something. At the end of the day, all governments are committed to issues of energy provision, that is security and affordability. I don't see any conflict. There are countries in OPEC who sell to us. They've never turned around and told us that they don't want to sell to us. Well, if you don't sell to India and China, there are not too many big markets left that. Even Europe collectively, many of these are mature markets on energy. They don't utilize crude oil. Many of them, some of them have gone into nuclear energy. Others are going into biofuels. But I also want to share with you that some of the advances which India has made, biofuel blending. When I was ambassador to Brazil, we tried very hard, the central government tried very hard to introduce 5% ethanol blending in 15 of our states and union territories. We couldn't get it done, for whatever reason. In 2014, when the Honorable Prime Minister assumed office, our biofuel blending was 1.4%. Today, we have already reached 10.5% of blending. We had a target of 20% blending by 2030. We have just brought it forward to 2024-25. Green hydrogen. We have Indian companies selling green ammonia to Germany. I wish the proceedings of this today's morning 5 reports, I don't know if there's any, is there a system whereby we publish some... Yeah, no, but what we discussed this morning, what's happening with the United States, we should make it known to members of the press, because then you realize that the world is moving on different fronts. So what do I see happening? I'll tell you, my view is that exploration and production will in India shoot up. I have always said that we have neglected to the point, I even use words like criminal neglect. We have 3.5 million square kilometers of sedimentary basin. 1 million square kilometers of that sedimentary basin was what is called no-go area. Just now, a few months ago, 99.5% of that no-go area has been cleaned up, which means foreign investors are happy to come and explore there.